is what they do.
Okay, kash tieni pali Tayali kanshi.
Ali pali blazer.
Yeah, pali blazer, yeah. Tieni kulia queen. Let's go. Let me end. Yeah, we have to turn him off. There, like let's go to the blaze. Tien.
It is simple. That's what you want to express. Okay. It's because that's why I asked you a simple question about precedent. Okay, there's a difference when something is written in the constitution or you've got something written down and stuff, but that is precedent that you're talking about. So, our situation, if the president was sick and someone else will be there,
but he's not
that's
sick.
on behalf of the president. So I think what we're trying to do. So, like I can't done him that. What we're just trying to say
we don't want him. That's the fact. We don't want him.
So no, the issue is. So let me just give you an example. Okay. So let's say, for instance, the court in South Africa rules that okay, this is what is going to happen. The body has to go to Zambia, and if the ECO family refuse, because that body has to be given to them to release it to the Zambian government, then what happens next? The whole thing just drags on and on and on.
Well, it is likely to drag on the way I see it. It is likely to drag on, and the way I see it, I think Edgar Lungu will be buried in South Africa. That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. But on the government side, I think it is good that they try until they fail. That is my position. That is my position.
You see, Baroba, with your permission, let me just correct a notion here. The Lungu family is not asking for a state funeral. They are not asking for it. So let's not make it look like the only condition to bring Lungu to Zambia is there has to be a state funeral. No one is saying that. So let's agree on the thing that we all want. What we want is the son of the soil to be buried here. The state funeral is neither. How do you expect? Look, let's have morals. With all the insults between those two men, do you think HH is the right person to honor Lungu? Honestly. Let me answer that for you because you might have the wrong answer in your head. No.
He's the head of state. He's
not the right person to honor him.
It's not a person.
Let's listen. Don't be taken go with people. I can also be taken go if you want. Let's just be reasonable. Look, the Lungu family is not looking for a state funeral. They're not. Tell me who is the head of state.
What is giving Lungu?
In fact, let's listen.
What is giving Lungu the
Lungu family
as a former head of state?
Let me speak.
He's the head of state.
You are talking about the former head of state. You realize how he was treated, how this man was treated.
He was not former head of state then.
He wasn't here former head of state. Is that what you're telling? And you that time you were even supporting the big man.
Okay, so what? Okay, so was he not answer? Was Lungu not former head of state? He was from jogging.
He was in
politics. Even now, the government is playing politics even today, even in this funeral. How do you take a widow to court? That's politics. There's no culture there.
Politics, because you are playing politics. That's why we are talking here. It's politics.
Mona Tayali. South Africa, I'm a bishop. There were bishops there who are trying to negotiate on behalf of government, trying to bring this impasse to an end.
No loyalty, way.
By the time it was Mario, those bishops had abandoned post and left. Because government, every time they would agree, but when it goes back to government the only thing HH wants is not even state, he wants to touch that body. He wants it to be big. There's no other choice because
superstition and bitterness. That's
no superstition. That is wicked on the ground.
And bitterness.
What you can do is fly back to Lusaka tomorrow. What you can say with the superstition.
Who is bitter?
All those talking about how
Tayali.
that's bitterness.
It's not bitterness, it's a fact.
Who are talking about
How is that bitterness? It's a fact.
Tayali. The question, who is bitter?
Yes, as all those who are talking about how Edgar Lungu was treated, they are bitter. They are bitter.
Do you know that
including you, even you were saying the same thing, so you're also bitter.
am I going to speak to this guy?
Do you want people to start dancing as to the way the former president was being treated? As the way the former president
They
was...
shouldn't, but we should warn now.
So that we are bitter.
Family law. Hey!
Okay.
We are not Zambians, that we are going
Trust. Guys, hold on.
You told me to hold on. I need
No, please.
Now, Maketi was defending you at your house. Look at what you're saying.
Please, one second.
Come on, it's real. Come on, after the wedding.
Trust. Guys, just hold on.
Very loyal.
You're talking about Maketi.
That is not loyal. That is a great
Just look at the way you were but look at how you turn
Guys, hold on. Prune. Guys, let me just ask Tayali one question.
Yes, please.
So, Tayali, you know, like, have you been watching the president, the way he's been talking the past few days?
Yes, I have.
Does he look bitter or does he look happy?
He looks statesman.
Yes,
In my
That's
view.
not what I asked. That's not what I asked.
No, that's
I'm done, I'm friend.
okay. If I ask the question again, what's
So I asked you a question. You said, you don't die, I'm really struggling. Okay.
Guys, I think I need to speak now. I know what Tayali is all about. Let me reveal it to you. Tayali has come here to do damage control. Listen, give me time.
Statesman.
Guys, am I going to...
Blaze, 1 second. Blaze, before Tawabiko Muliro. So,
yes.
Yeah.
You wanted to ask a question? Ask my brother. Ask.
You know what? Because the way you answer that question, you look statesman. I'm really struggling. How does the statesman how does he act?
How he acts? According to me, and I'm responding according to me. How can he in this instance? He has not gone to the pettiness. How Edgar Lungu treated him when Edgar
So,
Lungu
you know,
was president.
let me ask you a question.
Guys, let me come in.
Blaze, 1 second. So when you called off the National Mourning Civil Rights Day thing, that was statesman?
Well, the national mourning by now would have ended, but where is the mourning?
No, let me ask him a question. Was that statesman?
Yes, it was. He wanted to allow this process to
national morning yenze kusira pa Monday but revenue pa Friday. And you ofuna katungulule Zambia na mindset yaso.
So that we can wait. When we finish, then we can go back to the national mourning.
Tayali.
You know, Tayali, the problem with you, Tayali, you think that your opinion when you say it automatically the world begins to follow you.
No,
You
in
end
my
up
opinion,
looking
you can have your opinion. You have your opinion.
Yeah, and you end up looking as advice for a friend, from a friend to a friend, and we are friends. You just don't know who you're talking to. Yeah,
No, it's not about friendship.
But I'm advising you. Listen,
I don't want
stop making a mistake that will make you fool. One statements that will make you look foolish.
Mr. Brian, no wonder that Zambia. Guys, I'm afraid of better advice. That's a better advice. That's a better family. Who's afraid of better advice? That's why that's
I never family.
My kid is a friend. You defended you. Look what you've been saying about him. Change.
I think I need time as well with this guy.
Go ahead. Let's give
Can everyone mute the microphone? Let me hit this guy. I just want to be very frank with him. I am not going to beat around the bush. Give me just a few minutes. Tayali, I've told you, you are a disappointment to Mother Zambia. And you don't deserve to be called a person that we've been calling you. As a person who speaks for Mother Zambia. For the people of Zambia. I'm telling you now, you listen.
Yes, that's your opinion.
You listen. You keep quiet and listen. Let me speak.
It's your opinion.
I'm telling you, let me speak. Keep quiet.
Yes, it's your opinion. No,
let me speak. You keep quiet. You need to listen to you.
Accept that is your opinion. Accept that is your opinion.
It is.
Good. Now, go ahead.
Tayali, we should have a platform to do damage control for HH. HH wale kutakanya. Tawako Tanenson. You are a grown up, but you think like a child. You have left your wife back home. You are saying that we shouldn't talk about your family. We were the people who are defending you. Today you come back and insult us. We are very disappointed with you. What has HH given you now? That you seem to be your God. HH abalesa ovechikufe tayari. This guy, believe me, Chilufe Tayali, I think we can because your thinking is so cheap such that you cannot stand for the
Relax,
truth.
my brother.
And you are a disgrace to our motherland, where we come from as members. You are a disgrace. You have disgraced us. You are a disappointment. You don't stand for the truth. You are a cheap. Listen. Uli dia chomba muma politics. Because now we say ule dia chomba because ule chimona filefia kwa bati muntu wandi lelo uyu abakwitoku. You are more like no disrespect. You are more like a dog. That because kwa nunkile fupa wabutukila wayamukubuza my wife but landa to kukulifu futu wabutuka. My brother, you are a disgrace. You hear me? You are a disgrace, Chilufya Tayali. You are a disgrace. Mother Zambia is bleeding. Listen, let me finish. I'm very upset with you because I'm one of those people who used to stand and speak for you. Your family is
for that.
And you are and you are one man. Wale Kopama videos, guys, Moneno for Besham Guntangai. Makembi Zulu, the person you were insulting per social media, came to defend you. Few Apo Mwambo Kuramwe Chakwata Akalifi. But you know, Tayali fish Wakwata Mwapopomuri. You can't even reach here. You don't even 2 centimeters. But you're insulting your friend.
Don't go there, please. Don't go there, please. Are you going to give me chance? Let me finish. Don't go there.
Guys.
Don't go there, please. No, just telling facts. Not to Kuyoko. Not to Kuyoko. Don't go there.
But listen, my brothers. Listen, my brothers and sisters. You can have your opinion. And then you respect your opinion. You can even insult. For me, that doesn't bother me. It's okay.
But let me just tell you. Chilufya Tayali my brother. You are a disgrace. You are a disappointment.
And that is your opinion. I've got no problem with it.
Are you sure?
No, not at all. I'm not even bothered at all. You can say that. You can say that up to heaven. I've got no problem.
Okay. Please, hold on. Okay, let's Tayali, just 1 second. Let me just clarify something, because I've seen in the comments here that there's a lot of people that are saying, oh, by PF, Rushancha and PF cadres and stuff. I think the group is all about the Panapa movement. We're a group of people that are trying to change and the way our country is governed, okay, and to have politics of trust, where we could look at each other in the eyes, because sometimes, trust 2026. We want people that we can trust. We want brothers that are not going to betray each other. Some of the issues that we're having here, and you could see, you mentioned something, Lufia, that worried me. When you said, just because someone helped me, it doesn't mean I have to be loyal to me.
No.
That's how I operate. And that's a very scary way, and
unfortunately, I stand by that.
Yes. And I respect you.
Thank you.
I respect that.
Thank you.
But then, for us, this movement and how we want to move forward as a country, we can't work with you. We want people that have 100% loyalty and 100% trust, where like we treat each other with respect. And when someone says, because the way you're responding when someone has been saying, oh, we were there for you and stuff, the sarcasm in your voice and the laugh.
No, it's not an insurance. It's not an insurance policy.
No. Let me finish.
It's not an insurance policy.
Let me finish. Then you come in, okay? Because it's things like this that have even made people like me that were never interested in politics. But when you see some people that go there and you see them on social media covering themselves in almost half naked and trying to talk about issues affecting the country, and you see the gap and you see the failure in yourself, thinking like, wow, is this the person that wants to represent my country when he can flip like this? You know, in politics, you don't want people.
I think you are mixing up the issues there.
No.
Look,
let me finish.
You are mixing up issues. No, let me clarify.
I'm not mixing. I'm just giving you.
Let me tell you when you are mixing up. Let me tell you when you are mixing up. Because you are saying, because Makebi Zulu helped me, even when I don't agree with him, I should not speak against him.
No, have I mentioned Makebi Zulu here?
No, you mentioned Makebi Zulu. It's about Makebi Zulu. Makebi Zulu used to help you. But because Makebi Zulu used to help me, I should not disagree with him when I don't agree on a political issue. I shouldn't. That, and for me, it's unacceptable. So this is not about... No, we voted for him. If I make a pledge... Now listen, if I make a pledge to say I'm going to do this, and you vote for me, I should not flip on that. But if you help me, and then tomorrow you are wrong, you cannot tell me to say, no, you cannot talk about this person because he helped you. No. These are two different issues. The
Tayali, Barobam didn't say because Makebi helped you, then you should side with him. No, that's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying.
What is he saying?
Get the point right. When you said Makebi Zulu confronted you or asked you to do, I don't know if it's campaigning for him or whatever. Did he do it after ECL died or before? So why did you have to come and start talking? Actually, the Chagwa ECL. You see it, you're the one who's mixing things.
Makebi Zulu is using Ichirilo. Makebi Zulu is using Ichirilo over Edgar.
Could he blaze?
No, there's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with
come at blaze, yeah. Tayali is there.
There's nothing wrong with you not agreeing with him, but the things that you're saying.
So listen, Blaze. You know,
Okay, no.
we could say the same thing that they already was saying, you know.
Yeah, Twalaisa, Kulipari, blaze.
I agree.
Okay.
So like what I'm saying, we respect your opinion in terms of what you're saying about Makebi Zulu, but what I'm just trying to say is, as a country, if you see the state of our country at the moment, the issue we have is lack of loyalty. Because what's happening, a country has just become a country where we're snitching up on each other. You know, like we are stating, where is Ubuntu? Where is our brothers' love? That's the issue that I'm really, really struggling. And that's why when I see people that have been talking about politics like you for a very long time, and I see some of the views that you say and how you express yourself, I get disappointed. So that's why when I did mention to you that can I give you a bit of advice, it's either you take it or you refuse, and you refused, and I'm not going to give it to you.
Thank you.
Because some of the things that I've seen, well, I don't know, president, but then when I see the way you communicate and the way you flip from one thing to the other, you think like, how is it going to be a president?
And remember, this is from your point of view, because there are other people who actually see me that actually this guy can be president. You know, and I respect that. But there are other people
Okay, guys, let's give me a chance to speak.
People that are happy with me.
Guys, we've got
disappointment.
Blaze, they come up with Blaze, they come up with Pumulo over to you, Madam President.
You are just nothing.
Okay, now, okay, listen, can I so that
Just hold on,
I am coming out so that you bring fuego.
No, it's okay, Daddy. Just stay there. It's okay. Just wait.
Don't go, Tayali. Don't go, Tayali.
Please come through with your contribution.
Thank you, everybody. Mwaiseni, Zambia, everyone, thank you. I'm emotional. I am so emotional right now. Because if it is Chika, you are all men. You men, Zambian men, you are there castigating a poor woman. You don't know how it feels. 9 months I am fiala. Now, this, you are saying it's political, but you are overlooking that the fact that this is a woman, a widow, and her children. There is nothing political about losing a husband. And when all of you realize that this is not political, but it's a human thing, that someone lost a husband, someone lost a father, then we shall get this together. Let that sink in your heads one second. I don't care. I am biased. You can call me whatever. We are talking about a widow, someone in mourning. Exodus 22, 22 to 24. What does it say about widows and orphans? Zambia is a Christian nation. We shouldn't even be taking this woman to court in a foreign land. The church comes before the court. Our constitution is based on Christianity. So how can we today take a woman, a widow, to court in South Africa? And you are all fighting. You are saying it's politics. The person whom they were fighting for is dead. Edgar Lungu is no more. So why are you transferring whatever was happening to Edgar to Esther and her children? You people of Zambia. This matter was supposed to be solved with the church. And if you can take it to the court of whatever, the highest court in the land, you can take it to International Criminal Court, as long as you don't treat this as a family who has lost a husband. You don't treat this as looking at the children that a family is grieving. There will be confusion and there will never be peace. Because there's nothing political about death. We have all lost loved ones. And we were all left to mourn and bury in peace. It is a shame what is happening. Shame to the men of Zambia. Shame on you, the men of Zambia, to put this on a poor woman by Esther Lungu Naba Nababo. I don't care if you say it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant whatever you are saying. Who gave who money? It won't bring Lungu back. Let us just give this family the dignity to bury their dead. But you are here saying, hey, it will be prolonged. Hey, this funeral, it will be go on forever. What the hell? Do you know how it feels for the pain to, you feel so nangunoko. Now, on top of that pain of grieving, they are bringing in this political drama into their funeral. It is a shame. Tayali, my son, you are there because of UPND. You left Zambia because of UPND. So I think if I were you, I can just like declare a conflict of interest and not comment on this. Instead of you being in the forefront, supporting the people who run you out of your country to go to a foreign land. Where is your wife? Where are your children? Today you can stand here and defend the same government that have made you to be in a foreign land? Let us draw a line. Tayali, you have left your wife there and you leave a will. You say you are a lawyer. So if you leave a will, Tayali, to your wife, how do you expect your wife to behave with that will? She will honor that will. This is what Esther is doing. But you are politicizing it, all of you. All of you men here, you have wives. And you have left wills. If you haven't left a will, write a will now. Mulembiama will was, and I know when I remember will. I have told my husband, I've told my children, when I die, it should be this. But all of you men of Zambia, you have wives. And you have left wills. Huh? Batayali na papata. I know whatever, but I think the best cause for you, Batayali, is to declare a conflict of interest. Because you are a family man, you have wife and children. How would you expect your wife to behave, Batayali, in this case, if you left her this will? Because vayecheche balengati muyoko kuchalo chabe. Nga mwasha wiwo kwebati ba mwika sangwako vayechechi kuchiro chandi. Your wife has to honor that. So now why are you going after the lawyer? Think twice, Batayali. Let's not politicize this. Let's look at a family is grieving. Kwate niko rusekudi ba mama Esther Lungu nami papata ba mukunke pa ba Esther Lungu. Ma?
When am I going to give a chance to respond to your lectures?
You're not the only one here. We all want to respond. You're not more special than us.
No, I mean, I'm done. I've made my point. I've just joined you. You've been here the whole night. Tayali, you've been here the whole night. Me, I just joined. Actually, I don't even need a response. I'm just telling you how I feel. Because you are a person who doesn't take any opinion.
We are talking here. Let me give my opinion from what you have said. Number one, you are saying we are dragging the widow to court. Why we are dragging this thing to court? It is because Edgar Lungu
don't put yourself there. Do not put yourself there.
He's former
You say we. Are you part of the
Don't
government?
say we. Don't say
well,
we.
me and the next person makes us we.
Are you part of the government?
You're not part of the
And the other thing is,
fine. Okay, let's put why the government.
Yes.
Edgar Lungu is a former head of state. This is why all these interests there. The interest is there because he's former head of state. Number one. Number two, you have said that I'm here because of Hakainde Hichilema.
yes.
Well, it is because of Hakainde Hichilema, but PF never treated me well as well. PF had won. I would have been in jail. So, when you talk about the evil of UPND, let me talk. It's your house.
All friends. Legeni Tayali alande, but Tayali walando kwewa tipe.
When I start talking, you are so grasping our
Why are you bringing what PF did?
What is your problem? What? It's not fair.
Okay, Tayali,
You are a problem.
We only spoke for some time. You were all quiet. Me, I'm
okay,
talking. You are
Tayali, guys, listen.
No, the problem Tayali guys. You want to be like
Let's be fair.
That's why it's not HH. No, it's not HH. You are the one who caused all that problem. He says that I'm talking.
Moderator, you are not
Okay, now listen, Tayali. We'll give you 3 minutes and then Trust will come in. Come on. 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much. So, the first point is, I'm responding to Queen Pumulo. So, the first point is that we are not just dragging a widow for this government. It is because Edgar was the former head of state. Then she has spoken about me being here, and even a number of you have spoken about no, you are out because of Accusations. I will tell you myself that I have not been treated well, not even by PF, even by Edgar Lungu used to
Those
myself.
their mics on immunity is giving a bad echo. Let's mute our mics.
Yeah. So even PF did not treat me well. So the evil of the UPND does not absorb PF or does not make PF angels. Because both sides, from my point of view, they have not treated me well.
Tayali, just a question. So your claim on your asylum, was it for PF or UPN?
I mean, it's UPN.
Okay, so yeah. But you did claim asylum under PF. Okay, so continue.
So
and the question 9, because you are saying PF Lungu'S church why didn't you address that issue? Why didn't you bring up that issue? But
we reconciled. We did.
Hold on.
We reconciled.
Yes, you did
reconcile. Yes, we reconciled. Yes.
Okay, so Blaze.
Hold on. Now, if you reconciled, why do you continue talking about it? Because you reconciled with the former.
No, I'm talking about it because you are accusing, you are saying, no, UPND airling. So I'm telling you to say UPND is as bad, but don't PF was also bad. That's what I'm telling you. I'm responding to what you say.
You are losing us now. We are losing each other.
Blaze,
how are we losing each other?
Blaze.
You are saying UPND is bad, but I'm telling you that UPND is bad.
Okay, Tayali, let me ask you a question. Hold on, Tayali, how many people are you aware claimed asylum, political asylum under PF?
Under PF, how many? Oh, there are quite a number of them.
Quite a number of them.
Yes. Just give us two. Just give us two. I can give you Grigori Chifira. Grigori Chifira had to run away. Okay. Dr. Chan, we are so that now doctor, you are in No, not running with one. That other guy, doctor. He was the chairman of Doctor Association something.
Okay, but how many do you think have claimed the political asylum under UPND?
Certainly, there are more under UPND.
Okay, so what does that tell you?
Both governments were not good.
Numbers don't lie.
Okay. Chisha, now finish your contribution. You've got 1 minute left.
No, I'm actually done. I've given those 2 points. I'm not emotional. I don't go everywhere.
Okay, so since you are done, may I take the floor, please? Thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
so much, Tayali. You have responded so well.
Can I go now?
No, the folks are responding to you, Tayali.
Okay,
Okay, to respond to you.
Before you go.
When you go Ashkia, you should know that on the platform,
Okay, so I think the mic is mine right now. So I would like to respond to Mr. Tayali Chulufya. Yeah, who's a very lovely brother of mine.
But before you just proceed, I had one or two questions for Tayali before he goes.
Yeah, I'm going to hold him for you. He won't go. Let me respond to something critical that he has said, and I'll start from the end. He mentioned that two people went out of the country.
No, somebody
to seek
said,
asylum.
give an example.
Yeah. You were asked to give two, and you gave two names, and one of them is alive.
No, it's not a lie.
Let me finish. You will understand what I'm saying. So Gregor Echfire, I don't have the full details, so I'll give it to you. Brian Sampa, that you're talking about, that Dr. Brian Sampa, he left in UPND. Brian Sampa was being followed by these people who sodomized JJ Banda. Wherever you would go to speak, he was being followed. It was the PF people, was after losing power, that helped him. Okay? And he ended up in the US. They helped him, not the UP. He did not run away from it during the PF. He ran away during UPND, and it was PF people who helped him to live and run away to be safe in the USA. If you want, I can send you his phone number, his American phone number. You can call him today and confirm. So don't spread lies, my friend. Let me go to the second issue.
My brother. That
Let
is
me go to the second issue. When you were speaking, I was listening.
You have better information. You simply say, these are the facts, and I will appreciate that. Instead of don't spread lies.
That's fine. I agree with you.
Appreciate
You should have said it like that.
information.
I agree. I should have said it the way you have said it.
Yeah,
So the facts are on the floor.
That is good for me.
I have said. So let's move on. Let's move on. I've accepted. Let's move on.
I want to clarify also one point on Gregory Shire.
Yes, please go ahead before I continue.
Yeah, I think that wasn't so political, like it wasn't a PF and the UPND cadre issue. It was a court issue, and it was a bench warrant issued by the court for contempt of court action.
What he said is about what he said. He said something about the judges, and then they charged him of contempt. Then he had to run away.
And what?
Yeah. He accused. It was about corruption. He was speaking against corruption in the judiciary, and the courts looked at it as contempt of court, and that's how he went out.
He didn't have evidence on what he said.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Could say that,
So I guess that detail is ironed out again. So we know that Chifire went out on that basis, the court issues, and Brian Sampa ran away because they were after him.
Okay.
The same way they were after JJ Banda. I can give you his phone number, please. You can speak to him.
No. I've agreed. I'm not. Let's move. Bring another issue.
So now the next issue, and Madam Puni put it very rightly. We are trying to miss words here, and let's not become and Mother Queen Pumi. I apologize on behalf of men in this country.
Not me.
I am ashamed.
Except me.
It's fine. It's okay. Not in this country. It's fine. The men that are in Zambia right now who have kept quiet, watching the mother of our brothers and our sisters be treated the way she has been treated, and we are silent. Our sin of silence in the moment we should speak up. I apologize, because I am aware what the Bible says about God being a defense for the widow and the orphan. May God not hold such thing against us. May we find it in our hearts as men to speak out against that. We don't want to become a nation of widow abusers.
We do not wish to become a nation of widow abusers.
Amen.
You sound like a preacher now. Please, can we?
Yeah, let me speak.
I mean,
when you were speaking, I didn't call you out the way you were sounding like a crook. So let me sound how I want to sound.
Before he runs away, I just want to agree with you.
You can be sarcastic, right? I can be sarcastic if I want.
So you know all these things when you come back in Pumi. Imba mwenze kunani kani kuskuri ya unani ya ufada. So when you come back banani kani hapa ba Brian. Movies you are going to advertise. Don't pretend. Just use your dignity, my brother. For once, you know all these things. You don't have so you have become a famous one as well.
See, Tayali, don't be a problem. If you can be sarcastic, everyone can be sarcastic.
Amalu, but Brian, I'm asking for just for a minute.
Please go ahead, man.
Yeah, what Tayali Mulishani?
We don't have a shiny bakalam.
I think to the Vanessa, to Adimona Monana until we left. Yeah, you know, it's very sad seeing where we are now as a country. You know, due to propaganda, we are breeding and building hatred in our country. You know, politics shouldn't be a tool of division.
Exactly.
Politics should actually bring us together.
Sure.
But I don't know how you look at yourself. I don't want to judge you. But it's not good.
From your point of view.
Because you are on a seesaw. What I mean is, you are not balanced. Like, you are not firm. You don't even know where you are standing. Tomorrow you are here. The next day you are here.
I know. Don't say you don't know.
Finish.
Yeah, I know.
Let me finish. Yes, let me just finish. You know, everyone can play that game, and it can become very dirty. So we need men who can stand up and speak from the heart, not like from the mind. I doubt.
So, is it possible for you to be quiet when someone is speaking?
Okay, please go ahead.
So I was just asking, you are a prayerful person, you are a God-fearing person, and I was just asking if you can introspect and see, is this the Zambia that you would even love to come back to as it stands today? I don't even know how many of those who used to eat with ECL are sleeping now, knowing that the man is in a morgue, lying lifeless. Not only that, seeing the insults that the man is still enduring in his death. Not only that, how many tears should you see from the window for you to prove a point? How many tears do you want to see from the children for you to stop harassing them, even in their anguish? This is not the Zambia that we grew up to. This is not the Zambia that I envision to see in 50 years' time. But Tayali, I can assure you, if we continue in this trajectory, on this trajectory, Zambia will be ashes 20 years from now. Because we love the dollar, we love the pound, whatever I can say as long as I'm eating doesn't matter. Today I almost shed tears. It was the first time I was seeing John Sang was speaking the way he did today. The man is hurting. The country is going astray. But Tayali, I know you can speak. And you have that pomp. Come back and speak the truth, and the truth alone. I don't want to start asking you questions and what, but I would want to ask you, for the sake of You said PFs troubled you, UPND troubled you. You may have 2 oranges in your hands. 2 oranges. They are all labeled 2 oranges, but they will never be the same.
Yes.
You choose one. From the 2, you choose one. But they are all oranges. I'll end on that point.
MK6, my question. On the 2 oranges, you said, so why did you not make peace with UPND and decided to leave? Because you said you made peace with PF, but then you didn't. Did you try to make peace with UPND?
Okay. The gentleman who just spoke has touched on very important points before I come to my personal issues. The first thing that he has said is that, politics should not fan bitterness. It should instead bring people together. Now, I want to ask you people on this platform, with what is happening in the Edgar Lungu's funeral, is this dividing the country, or is it unifying the country, or it is dividing the country? And if you say it is dividing the country, who is pushing, who is making this division? Is by going back to say, no, you treated Edgar Lungu like this. No, this one should not be part of the funeral. Is that unifying a country or dividing the country?
Okay. I'll answer. Okay.
About unity. But yet you are saying, no, you treated this one like this. No, this one should not be there. Is that dividing the country or unifying the country?
Tayali, listen. If you look at the travel of direction, the moment the president announced that the national mourning council ended it, okay, and the family announced that they were going to bury in South Africa, everyone was with the idea that, okay, this is how it's going to happen. But now that court issue that was taken.
Speaking in general, please be specific, because
because you've answered the question that let me answer the question.
Be very specific and maybe even chronological, and giving reason.
No,
can I come in?
Okay, go on, MK6.
Okay, thank you, Atayal, for that question. Whatever is happening has chilled or has torn this country apart, maybe in 4 or 5 pieces. Whatever is happening. But I've lived in villages, I've lived in towns, I've lived in South Africa, I've lived some places. There are issues when it comes to death. There are issues that each death comes with. And if the living fail to respect those wishes that come with that death, then who do you blame? The dead or the living?
The living.
And now, here is the situation that we fail to understand. For every problem to be solved, you need to start from the source. Don't just rush at the end of it and start blaming people. And this is the problem. I raised this point before to say, I wonder if this same agreement between the Lungu family and the UPND government gonna work. Because what I wanted to see is, for example, do you know what HH is thinking or was thinking over Lungu for him to send Bamiti? Is it, who is the secretary to cabinet?
Patrick Kangwa.
Yeah, to send Kangwa and those. Because even in the courts, when you have a case of Tayali, you may have millions of monies, but when it comes to testifying, you won't use a lawyer. They will need you as you. So it was very paramount that HH would shake even an inch to speak to those people. It is him and Lungu, who is normal, who had those issues between themselves. So if the family heard direct from HH I think we wouldn't reach where we are now.
Can I come in just there a bit? Just there a bit. Okay. So you are saying, basically, you are making a good point that HH should have reached out. I am aware that the HH actually spoke to the widow on phone. That I'm aware. Then secondly, a president moves with its own technicalities and protocols. So it might be very difficult for Hakainde to fly into South Africa and go and engage with the family. It might be very difficult. So we might have to differentiate between Hakainde as a person and Hakainde as a president.
Batari, point of correction. Batari, HX kwenda kwenda launching a book muzao waenda chekulia cha masomera wakakango kwenda pali maliro.
Good point. Very good point.
Batari, timaganiza Batari. And foot one thing Batari chaveni kupempani foot Batari. This one on a serious note Batari.
Okay.
You and Mama Esther Lungu Batari, you are too close. You are supposed to call. That is your sister. Just convince your sister in a right way Batari. Kuchira vijavane mnaenda pa social media manje kwamba shitamongati mwadi ngapo sort patronda. That was wrong, my brother. Seriously.
Okay,
Kama chakuzona pameso pa Mulungu. Ijayevu Mr. Tayali. You know how much I love you.
Yes, okay, my brother.
Even to Vazona, you know, you and me, you know. Apart from this platform, you know, we do talk a lot, you, my brother. But what you think that...
But you
okay, quiet.
So what I want to say is that it's true what you are saying, my brother. The only challenge that is there, sometimes some of these things, they may not be as simple as you might think. Like you are saying that, I mean, why can't I call Mama Esther? Or why can't I call whoever? Sometimes some of these things, they are not even as easy as you think. So from my point of view, it is not as easy as you think that I can call and talk to these people in a certain way. And then sometimes there are also certain things that you know that are brewing underground. So, but I hear your point and I appreciate it.
And can I come in right there, Tayali, what you have said?
Let me just finish this. Watayali,
yeah.
Listen, Watayali, me I'm coming from Ensenga background, Watayali. Kuchitamile simu maziva. Watayali, lokwamene mchoka imo, kuli muambo. Ngati mundu wa mwali, Watayali. Icheta mfulika mchitenge once muli hapa platform. Me I'm coming from Ensenga family. I'm coming from Kalindawalo. I'm from the Loyals. So ngati mundu mkulu, mwanga wa Edgar Chagwa Lungu wana mwali ya sintayo Watayali. Kulivimvambira wene fuma funika even wa president baziva because wa president muli mtundu siyana mu cabinet mwao muli bansenga waliko wa mtoropili baje wa mtoropili he knows this issue mwambela wa dad first nza enda further because muzi na pamena Afrika wa dad saindeshe maningi sikomo kwa kulimyambo.
Yes, so let me just come in a little bit. But I did not learn that if you're peace, are we divided? Are we united? So everything that has happened is like divided the country further. I will start with the pages such as yourself. So you have said that it's not easy for you, but I had to Esther. But you can use your platform, Esther, and the Lungu family. But every time I've looked at your page, you have said very hurtful stuff indirectly to the family, you know. So how can we bring peace when we have all these social media platforms attacking the family? That's number one. Number two, the government tried to send officers, I don't know if it's whatever, military people to go and collect the body without the knowledge of the family. Number three, Edgar Lungu was in South Africa for 6 months. The government didn't make an effort to make peace with him. And then number five, when, is it number four now? We look at the talk, they had an agreement, and then there was a betrayal. There were programs which were made out without considering the family, and then the family called off the funeral. And then the president also ended the national mourning, and we saw the minister from South Africa come in and talk to the president. The president was quiet. Now, this is the one which like destroyed all the peace that was there. This is the bomb which the government did, is to ambush the widow when they were going for burial. Who does that? Why did they wait pakuti uruchero bwacha abantu bali amukushika ero mwaba chita save someone honestly?
Thank you. So, Madam Pumi,
Maybe I would just like to come in, Madam Pumi.
No.
Just there to just
those points are very good. Let me respond to them.
Yeah, I also want to respond to the same points, Daddy. I want to respond to the same points.
You
So let me just respond. It's a platform. Everyone of us needs to respond. So let me respond.
But like for example, she said on your platform, what you have been saying.
So let me add to that. It's not just that platform. What I want to add to
let me respond on my side. On my platform.
Yeah, so there are other platforms that are controlled by people who work at State House, for example. My point is, how do we get to a place where people are saying we want to honor the former president, we want to give him a state funeral, so bring him home. Good point. We are all agreed on that. Then the same people are saying that his immediate PR guy, Amasanga, who runs these platforms, those platforms are insulting the same people they are saying they want to honor.
Exactly. You know? Yeah?
We can see where the division is coming from.
Yes.
The division is not coming from the family as you are trying to put.
Yes, ukubale kuputirisha, ukubale kusuma. Ukubale putirisha ngabaisa ku camera.
But your people are insulting the same one.
Yes.
Listen. So the first thing
because of that.
We are talking very well. You are very right with what you have said. And from my point of view, on my page, yes, indeed, some of the things that I've said, I shouldn't have said them. But you see, where is this coming from? Where this is coming from is the tone that was said, where immediately this happened to say, we don't want, this person was treated badly when he was alive. Okay? That is not a spirit of reconciliation. That is not a spirit of reconciliation.
But
number two, no, we
did
don't
the
want
families make that statement?
There is no sorry after death, but Tayali. So make a peace with your enemies before they die. There is no peace after death, and the family didn't make that.
Let me talk.
Don't blame. You are blaming the family.
Even put it on record that we are not asking for anything.
Don't blame the family, but Tayali.
They didn't. Let's give Tayali 1 minute, and then Joseph wants to say something.
Thank you. 1 minute indeed. So the first thing is that when this happened, my first comment was that let us mourn this man in dignity. As I was saying that, there was a statement that were coming from Makebi Zulu to say this man was not treated as a statesman. So we are not interested in...
That's the fact, Rashkia.
Okay, fine. I mean, I'm not saying it is not a fact. Yes, he was not treated. But now, the question that I'm asking, was that reconciliatory? That is my problem. Okay, so for me, I criticize that because at this point in time, we cannot be bringing those issues. Then number two, you cannot come in and say, no, we don't want Haka in the HLM to be part of it. It's not that I like Haka in the HLM. It's not that I'm speaking for Haka in the HLM. But it is not reconciliatory. It is not Christian. And then you are talking about the army.
Reconciliation in your muntu afwa. Mwale mutanemiti. Reconciliation muntu nafwa. Let's reconcile.
1 minute.
30 seconds. I am K6, hold on. 30 seconds.
30 seconds. 30 seconds. So you are saying no, the government sent the military to go and take the body. That is not true. The government sent Mulambo Ayimbe to go and engage the family. And when they went there...
That was the second time. Mulambo Haimbe went there after the first people failed. Mulambo Haimbe
He went the first time. We can check the facts.
Okay, but then the Mulambo engaged after they failed.
Mama Pumi, let me just address my brother, Mr. Tayali. When you're talking about this, ask trust about that issue. Because up and before Stephen out it can be family trust. So that let have it trust alipo. Manvera Tayali. So you are kuzaliwa kuimpumi ati abala enda Mulambo wa Imbe the second time. It was the second time. Kuli wantu wana bawa the first. Wana walafa kwenda kusta retrieve board. Wawaza njibele. Sindima muna sign up.
I don't have information about that.
Yes. Watch my go on Emmanuel Mwamba TV. Emmanuel Mwamba.
It's true.
Emmanuel Mwamba says it all.
Well, he said that, but from my point of view, I don't know.
No, Mr. Tayali.
We are telling you that there were people who showed up the first time.
Verse 26, he's going to tell you the truth about it. That's what happened, Badari. Learn from others. So don't just argue. Try to learn from others as well.
Kuchwa mkusende chitumbi chavene. Wishuwabe nati setupeleni chitumbi twaisa mkusenda.
Can I speak?
Go ahead by Josephs.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Brother Tayali, that you are here.
Thank you.
We ought to pay particular attention to certain things. You're talking about reconciliation, and this you know. I'm one person that has actually followed most of the comments that you've put across every time regarding these issues. I can tell you that most of them have been so hurtful. All right, I want to speak from a neutral point of view.
Yeah.
When we speak about reconciliation, by the way, there should be a difference between value and the actual wound. Okay? The position of the government is not necessarily healing the wound, but it's basically barely we get over it. And this should be understood. Because we need to move on as a country. That is the position of the government. And we ought to be very, very honest. So when we are talking about reconciliation, there is no way you can speak about reconciling the country. You were in the country Zambia. By now you are out of the country. You know some of the things that have brought us here as a country. There are issues that have been burning over the years, which you yourself, Brother Tayali, spoke against. You condemned so much, and you saw them actually bleed from the very beginning. So we can never talk about reconciliation without dealing with those issues. It's not just about the value. Everyone in Zambia, including the family, is in agreement that ECL must be buried in Zambia. But it has to be buried in Zambia under the right condition and atmosphere. You and me know for sure to say, currently, politically, Zambia is charged and very polarized. Very polarized. There is no way. For example, he was the head of state, and you and me know that that man commanded a huge following. When the government sets up conditions and rules and says there will be no, public people that should come to the airport except by invitation, it makes it very, very tricky because it is known. Apart from the government playing their law, they have also politicized this funeral. It is for political expedience, which is not right. So many things were done to that man. You and me, I know you are an honest man. When you want to stand on the truth, you do speak the truth. Sometimes you go off, and I feel bad because of how the influence that you tend to have on certain issues. But this one, my brother, I think you have done more damage than the good. In fact, I can tell you that what has happened in our country, you, Poswe Page, and have actually made it very difficult for, peace to prevail in terms of reconciliation between the government and the family. Because this side, you hear the government saying we need to bury this man in a dignified manner, and then you come out, someone is saying something here, Tasira that, Makebi that, you hear others are saying they are bags of money, stuffed in the aeroplane. Others come up and say he went with different passports. All that, honestly, what kind of reconciliation are we talking about? The president has a lot to do. It would have just taken one word, genuine word. I'm sorry for what I did what we did to our brother. We can do better as a country. This, in fact, should have been stopped at the funeral of Nawapi. Had the president taken the step and seen, if he had seen that what was going on was not right, wouldn't be here today. So for me, my appeal to you, Brother Tayali, we have Zambia, and you love Zambia too. It is a country where you were born. Let me conclude, man.
Joseph, ndakumbuka pamene mwakamba pali wanawapi wa Joseph tayali Clyde when Nawapi died anali hapo akana ukali ujawa maningi maana ndawa pali Edgar Chagwa Lungu amene nzeli naye close. My brother Tayali, please go ahead with Joseph.
In conclusion, Brother Tayali, we as a people, we should understand that we will always be held responsible at some point, especially by the things we say. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but there will be a day when we will have to account for what we say. I think sometimes let us look at the truth and look at the truth in its entirety, so that when we speak, if anyone come tomorrow, especially the generation that is coming, they should be able to say that Tayali stood in this position, and indeed his position helped the country move this direction. Where we are now, we do not need, people that will speak for the sake of speaking, but people that will help heal the nation. But what has been coming from you people, it's really, really been bad, and it has actually damaged and made this reconciliation difficult. I thank you.
Moderator, 30 seconds.
Yeah, just respond 10 seconds because I think a few people want to add on here.
Yeah, sure. 30 seconds. So 30 seconds, I think what my brother...
I think a few people want to add on here.
Yeah, sure. 30 seconds. So 30 seconds, I think what my brother...
Fiolo ngatawawe jave.
And let me show you guys like this.
Welcome. We're just on our Blaze TikTok. Now we are on my TikTok. We were there with the Chulufya Tayali, and it's been a crazy day. But you know, these media pages, Chulufya Tayali, Koswe, and a bunch of other pages on Facebook have really made the situation worse. They have made the situation worse because the government is preaching peace, but then we have all these propaganda pages saying all these bad things about the Lungu family. So how can you create peace when the government is saying this, but you have pages affiliated or people who are supporting the government say all these horrible, nasty things against the Lungu family? So this is hypocrisy, you know. It is hypocrisy. It is instigating confusion. It is propaganda. I don't know. One makes me think, does the government really want peace? Or they are just saying things to say things? Because if the government wants peace, then all these pages affiliated to the government and state out should promote peace on their pages. They should make peaceful statements. And we have a person, Tayali, who is out of Zambia right now on political asylum because he ran away from this UPND government and now cheerleading the UPND government. So what kind of hypocrisy is this? We have men, like I said, I am standing on Exodus 22 to 24. This is the verse talks about widows and orphans. We have men. All the men are in the forefront. They don't care about how this widow is feeling and their children. They really don't care. We have men who are married. They have wives and children, and they are in politics. Would they wish what is happening to Mama Mutinta to happen to their wives when they are no more? This is a question I want to ask President Hakainde Hichilema. President Hakainde Hichilema, would you want your wife Mutinta to go through whatever Esther is going through? Which person would like to see a mother in that condition? I don't think any normal human being kuti atemwa kumono mwana kashuri onse na mayo being dragged into court, being ambushed on the day of the burial. Babu kolu chelo, yo, we have cancelled the funeral. From there, they are preparing to go and bury Balepoke Rama Samon Luchero Chelo, just to torment the family, you know. Torment the family. Bale Sambaturia Mkushika, they instructed their lawyers to actually hand the summons when they are leaving to go and to bury. Why didn't they do it a night before or 2 days before? This is a torment. And are we going to be a country like that? Are we going to be a nation that is so cruel? This is the question. As women, let us come together. Vanamayo chen tuikatani. Pamo vanamayo vamutinto koko munimustiku State House. You should fight for Esther. Mutinta should fight for Esther. Because if Mutinta stays quiet, this thing will happen to her. Mutinta Hichilema should cry to her husband and tell her husband to spare Mrs. Esther Lungu. Because if Mutinta Hichilema does not intervene for Madam Esther Lungu, this thing will happen to her and then never. What goes around comes around. It is time for Mrs. Mutinta Hichilema to intercede for Mrs. Esther Piri. Because this thing is going to come to her. Unless if she predeceases her husband, then she will have no problem. But if Mutinta Hichilema will live longer, I don't know what will happen to her. Because what they did to Kuriba Esther Lungu the other day is horrible. It's the worst thing to happen to anyone. To go and sit in a court instead of burying your husband, to be ambushed to go to court. We don't know how long this thing will take while the body of ECL is in a morgue somewhere. Vamutinta, you are the one who can break this cycle. Unless mwadina mwishiwa ku future Vamutinta, unless Vamutinta na mwishiwa ku future timwe mukabadila po kufwa. But naturally, men, they have a short lives. Aba umebala fwa wangu, men predecease us, women. So nga kukonka fye Vamutinta, eba ki kuli problem hii. Hello, but trust.
Good evening.
Good evening. Waputugaba Blaze. But Tayali Mwandi, it's good Tayali, cause Alanda fye kapadia, you know.
You know, that's why I cut him when he wanted to, because you can't be the only one who knows what's going on. He's very far from Zambia.
And he has the wrong information. He is peddling a wrong information. That's the thing, you know.
Yes.
So we need to tell him that we know.
Yeah, he needs to know that we know what's going on.
Yes, and some of us have been here from day one following this topic.
Yeah. Him has got an angle. He's got an angle, he's benefiting.
Tapali knowledge that benefited. Tayali, you have a wife. How can you preach peace when these people failed to be peaceful with Lungu when he was alive?
But the question that you have asked that is critical is that all these men and these married men and married women who are supporting the affliction on Madam Esther Lungu, they should ask themselves, will they not die? And when they die? Because it's not a question of if, it is when they die.
Today balemba mukabuku. Today balemba machine bonse. Mweba li busy. Kuya mkuimina kulia. Summoning a widow to go to court instead of burying her husband. Could change up of ambush. Bali bachita ambush by Esther Lungu and family.
Yeah.
Instead of them kuya mkushika balume, they were dragged to court. When they could have done that a day before. It is evil and cruel.
Satanic.
It is evil and cruel. This
is why I was saying, Queen Pumi, I was saying that if these people could do this to Madam Esther Lungu, okay, on the day that she desired to put her husband to rest, at great cost.
Imagine.
At great cost.
Balero lela finaba naba shimpanef kondo munshati he. Today at Yeruchelo to ba bombing a boom, no burial. What kind of evil?
Imagine.
Now imagine.
What kind of evil? Eh?
She landed in Lusaka. What will they do to her?
Lesa ali kanya, you know, Fiafine baziere balandira tinga bafika fye, na bena balalanda tunwa tuabo. Ine parapene na mwene baziere. I said, I've been saying, these people, let them just bury Kuria Queen. Na baziere na kanwa kabo badi ululabe ni kanwa kabo baziere achawe. Nga bafika fye muno, they would not see the body.
You know, Queen Pumi, you remember there was a time I said that the way this president behaves, it's like Ali Manina Pakutupesha as a country. Remember when I said that Chifukush, you know, for the
pesha abantu 2 million. Uriweka. Can you pesha 20 million people when you are alone?
You can see what happened a few days ago when he was in State House, and it's not the first time he said it. Says, "Why do you Zambians hate me?" So when you look at the whole situation, even that South Africa issue, he looked at it. Yes, he wanted to inflict so much pain on them, and also he wanted to inflict pain on almost everyone that traveled to South Africa.
Imagine na abantu na venda.
Yes. And then to just make it think like, oh, why? And then you have to come back again, you know. And one thing that he thinks people will not afford to go next time, but this next trip you're actually going to have more people that will travel.
Yes.
But then with him, he's thinking like, okay, another picture. And that's why you could see that some of these praise singers, I think if you saw the Uriobala Shirama where they were even joking at because you could see, because that's the how can we inflict so much pain on them? And this is what they're actually doing. And this is why we're saying we need to keep talking. You could see Uyu Nangola Chisare. today it's just been, you have no idea. The first person we had on Blaze Uachisa was Ichimoko. You know, trying to join that thing. So this message, when you hear the president saying that I've been following what's happening on social media, he's talking about the conversation that we're having. So
yes. For me personally, I wouldn't even add people like Tayali.
No, because what actually happened is you could see the energy that he came, and by the time Kumalash, you could see trust that he was changing his views and listening a little bit.
He was changing it.
Yes.
I know, Paranachi joined and then he snapper cover, you know, it was hot.
Because at the beginning, that's why for me I did ask him simple questions.
You know the problem, these guys come thinking we don't have them. That's the problem.
Data, yes. They think about data for anything.
They find us, we are here.
That man has to heal. There's so much bitterness in him.
He will never heal. I don't think he will heal. We just have to let him go. Apalena Zambia, we don't hate Bahaka in there. Me, I don't hate him. But if it's chitwa fiavo, kutuwa mkuchitambush mukamfuirwa. If it's chitwa mwevantu bakwale, sana mayo abu katindea mkuzi.
The countries what we don't like.
Nobody hates him, but his behavior, mwevantu, to the way he behaves in Jesus.
They think like they are not married.
You don't treat people like horses.
Cruelty, torture. That is torture, mwevantu. Na mayo abuka. Imagine the family will be there thinking you mubiri ulifia kumochari. We don't know. With no endings. Torturing. Eh?
What is happening, the good thing is this, the message is being delivered through these platforms. They know that
whatever he's doing is not making sense.
That is countering, their misinformation and their lies.
Kaibali to block up a Facebook,
That will stand against them and tell the truth. They always want to, push their narrative. So this is why you are seeing them trying to get into all these platforms.
No, but what Joseph said.
They'll be there responding. But now, this is working. This is working. You can tell that the pressure is there. They are getting the information.
Because they wanted to censor, Facebook is censored. So number bambo to konka kuma TikTok where they can't censor it. Bambo kulaisa ku TikTok. Because pa Facebook why to chita censor.
Honestly speaking, who would actually fight Tasila? Simple lady. That lady would not pick up a fight with anyone. Tayali would go out flat out and insult that lady. For what?
Ribiere mfwaya. But Tayali mubefye we no come correct. Tayali need to come correct. He's a married man with a wife. So nga afwa kuloko oko alikudia chikabashan. This is what we need to ask all the men.
But you don't have to lose your decency the way.
Yes. Now they want to take advantage of the wife. This is arm twisting. What they are doing is arm twisting. Mamona. Because the widow is vulnerable and the children, but luckily this family is strong. They are standing steadfast.
Yes.
Mamona.
When you look at families of the first, let me just say this. When you look at the families of the first families of the past presidents, when you look at Mrs. Lupia Banda, those are quite people, fighting them. Sometimes look at by Esther, you look at that. The person who do stand on her own was Mrs. Manawasa. You'd say, this one will say, let me take the fire on and I will respond. But these are down to earth people.
Yeah, but Madam Esther Lungu, sure.
But Mama Esther, no, she will not fight you. She would rather pray. you know, over a situation, and this is the person that you go to attack. It's so sad. And
So,
we are talking about reconciliation. How? The more reason why
Imagine,
we are
how do you
talking
reconcile?
here, we have to speak.
There's no sorry after death. There's no sorry after death.
Ruth Genesis, go ahead. The Kuliabantu audience song Mwalanda will drop you, so we bring other people. Ruth Genesis, go ahead. Ruth Genesis, you can go ahead.
So my point is, yes. Because whatever they're doing is not making sense. You can't be dragging a widow like that. What picture are you putting out there? No, it's so inhuman. You know, we want to give him a benefit. Which value? You're in which step? The head of state that you didn't recognize when he was alive. I don't want to recognize you. That's not right. This is not a Zambia we want. But I never support a Mungu, but in Shuria, Chibasi, Nafiva Mwenye, Filem Mwenye, Sushi, and no money. Where is Zambia? You're telling to come back.
Oh. Twaelekwa kwenda na mabasi ni Uber kuno na yangu.
Did you just say that comment? Vampiri Piri.
Yaba. Alabana mayo cheri tuime. Ngata tuime ni hapa. They will be treating us like this. They come about me. You men of Zambia. Re-honor your women. I've never seen it. That's why munatutukana ifwe. You know, you sit there while we are insulted. You should stand and defend your women.
Blessings from God by
yes, every man right now should be.
Don't know all those things.
Yes.
The Bible says, wife, submit to your husband, and husband, love your wife as Christ loved the church.
Exactly.
So the wife, she's a helper to you. She's not somebody you should talk to.
Nobody lyomunenu afirwa mwambo kula chitomu kashiwa kwa chipu wakula mutukana. No, Zambia we can do better. Bana mayo chen tuime. This is injustice on a woman coming from a state. Hello, this is not a national matter. It's a personal issue. Wherever Attorney General, who signed the petition that we want to go against the Lungu family? Who signed that petition?
Pressure about Tayali. What for attention? What Miss Queen? What for attention? What Miss Queen? Let
me just add something.
The problem here is
Joseph.
Yes, sir.
I just have a suggestion.
Yes.
Do you know what the women did to Kavindeli when he was running for president and why he stopped? Do you remember? When the women just went and protested and Baba Fudi Kavindeli, and that's how that's how he stopped.
Yes.
Blood of Jesus.
So I think what could put me, I'm not saying I took you for of course, but I think something has to be done. or something has to be said in terms of a strong statement to...
But the problem is our women in Zambia, they are mute. All these injustices, they are mute. You know? Why can't the women stand up and condemn this government?
There is one thing that you are overlooking. When we had, for example, PFMMD in power, when you pay attention to the kind of governance and the kind of people that were ruling then, there is something, you know, we cannot pick out clearly in our country right now under UPND. You know, there's just something evil, you know, there's just something evil. This intolerance is not just coming from anywhere. From nowhere. There is something wrong in our country.
You know, and you know, but Joseph's, not to cut you short, there is a picture circulating online if I'm a Freemason. And I went to read a little bit about Freemason. This is, this Freemason don't respect women.
Yeah.
That is one characteristic of Freemason. They regard women as nothing. And that's why we see this. Yes.
Someone has information on this one. Do you remember at some point the late Anderson Mazoka did attest that he was part of that same society, but he repented? Who remembers that?
Yeah, we do, but we are just saying that today there's an article where Freemasons have donated something.
So there is somewhere where I'm heading.
Yeah.
Because these were tight, these two. I had known the man. The only time that I came to the help of this man going to SDA was recent. But during all those times of corporate world, he never, ever attended church. So there is a problem in our country. So I think when you talk about reconciliation, it's tricky. It's very, very tough.
And it says that they believe in a supreme being, meaning men are superior. So that's why if a president, I'm not saying he is, but if a president is a Freemason, then he has no regard for women. That's why you see he doesn't even involve women in what he's doing.
You know, there's people that work here in Grantham. They've actually said that they've worked here for years, but every time there's like a corporate event and stuff, he never attended with a wife.
Yeah, because those are principles of Freemason. It's a men only. It's a men organization, and women and bear children and cook and wait for him.
And what Joseph mentioned something. It's very clear. I'm Adventist. I've said it myself, and I was very active back then, where we visited lots of churches, singing and stuff. And I never saw the lad anywhere where he went somewhere said, "Oh, elder, this." Even the church where he claims to be an elder, it's I helped to do a lot of fundraising for that church, and I never saw him. So I think it's a shame when you see people try to use God for their own benefit, but then they know that they don't actually mean what they're doing. And this is why he's having all these challenges now to manage the country, because you can't hide behind God. And then at some stage you get exposed, and then it's like it's crisis after crisis, and he's asking himself, what's going on here? You know, and then in the end, you know, you know,
because your actions are speaking louder than your words.
Then you cannot fool God. You can't.
Even us, it's like your actions are speaking louder than your words.
You can never bribe him.
Your actions are speaking louder than your words. But HH always comes and says these things. Then he goes and ambushes a widow on the day of burial with a sermon, a lawsuit.
Imagine.
And then you tell people to kupata. Like really, honestly. But walolela fye buchefye ulelolela fye na ushimpa nechikondo nga bwachafye banechimona lero. Who does that, like really?
Why didn't you tell them before they do?
Yes.
This is what this has always been. That's what it was. Nothing, sincere, and it's so painful that they're trying to use the number,
And plead ignorance. What if we won't say tulemone file chitika?
Yeah. Tulemone file chitika na kwa on the wrong side and
Madam President, you said where the women are they scared? It's not only the women. You know the way
the men.
There's a feeling.
The men supposed to stand for your women, but now they can't see.
There's a feeling in Zambia now. There's just like a cloud has covered us all.
Imagine.
Why we need to break that crowd, Prayers.
You feel like you want to. Just imagine how quiet the church has been. Just take the moment for the church. They have been so quiet. Forget about the church. Go to the chiefs. Go to the chiefs.
They are in that same group.
Valeria Naimo, Valeria, stop receiving those bribes, you will speak.
No, most of them like
Bala baponesho tuma envelope kulia balefirwa okulanda nga fish balibengala tini okulanda mwe bantu bakwalisa echo balefirwa okulanda they are compromised.
All governments the government that was giving Yama Chief money is the PF, but they used to talk. They built them houses, but they used to talk. They bought them vehicles, but they spoke. Either it's just that feeling.
Feeling people are being threatened in them year. Apart, there's no rocket science. People are being threatened.
Yeah.
People are being. We have gone to pages. Okay, I'll be honest to you. Look at Mama Chika Monica. Now let's talk at Mama Chika Monica. Mama Chika Monica bale landa. Bazuba uriachishi whatever his name. Aba tukile wanu kero tukalaku tukafengo balanda fepali ba present tukalaku tuka. That's what they are doing to everybody, and they were threatened with their lives. People were calling Mama Chika Monica. We have been told to clear you. You are on a wanted list. So they're actually calling people and threatening people with their lives.
I need to retire, but before I go, there is this that I wanted to say to the public. You know, the propaganda machine that the UPND has or have, I was just reading an article that political propaganda that has turned or yielded into hatred. That was an article written in Sudan. So, I think this is the same thing that is happening here in Zambia. I was so shocked to hear something from someone who I never expected to hear this from. To think that ECO is faking death. I forgot about it. Today, I entered the butchery buying dog food. So, this man said, an elderly man, I'm sure he's a Lozi or so, says, no, he's just faking. He's just faking. I said, are you for real? At his age, status,
are you sure?
At his age and status, you think...
No, this is their propaganda. They want to even people to hate ECO in death. That's why Tayali Balela, because those pages never quite reach equal. You know? You know, like what they are doing, because Facebook is the #1 platform in Zambia. So the pages who are supporting the government, they are boosting them. Ama pages yaba UPND yaleba boosted. So everything propaganda is going. That's why ama page you say aya opposition bali sala. Like in my page I were clamped. I don't reach as many people. You know. But they have lots of pages who are preaching this propaganda. Yeah.
I was so amazed, surprised, and I just looked and moved out. As I was walking, I met another guy. He was putting on military thing, like Vima fake military thing. So he was like, these people are tiring us. So now they are saying what? It has gone to court. Now the next person who kill is Makebi Zulu. You know, I wanted to approach this person, but now I thought, so I just passed. So if we can reach this extent as a nation, where are we really going?
And this is what Tayali is saying, insulting in Makebi. So now they want to put a hate on Makebi Zulu. Huh?
We shall fight for justice. Wakeshe fe Makebi Zulu na wena wakavo. Tukaipono na nama soja na mawe. Tukaipono na we shall stand for Zambia. Not if you feel power rich. They should leave Makebi Zulu alone. I was so amazed with the family.
I'm speaking here. People might think I'm making up stories, but I didn't have anything to say. I stood. I wanted to start recording him and go to him, but I said, no, it's fine. That's how I walked. You know?